What would it take for you to believe in angels? Hello, you're listening to Well Intel Daily. I'm Annie Hood. This is the podcast that makes wellbeing work for you and your business. 8 years ago, I did a wellbeing retreat in Madeira, and it turned out to be a lot more radical than I had ever imagined. I signed up on the recommendation of friends, and I started to feel uncomfortable almost immediately. From 4 hours of trance dance to walking on broken glass to breaking arrows with my throat and walking barefoot on glowing embers, hugging almost naked strangers for long periods, I was very, very far from my comfort zone. The first day of the programme lasted until the early hours of the following day. And I thought the next day would be easier. Swimming costumes on, and I was beginning to relax. But no. What came next was a rebirthing ceremony. Now, let me reflect for a moment and let you know what the intention of the programme was. It was held on January the 2nd, and it was designed to let go of old patterns to make way for the new year, for a new you, a rebirthing, a renaissance. Some fairly extreme techniques were used, and by doing them, it helps to shed limiting beliefs and cultivates a greater openness. It cracks you open, if you will, and done well, you reach an anything is possible state of very high consciousness and quite a blissed out state of being. So we all got in the pool and formed a birth canal. So there were around 24 people. Imagine 2 rows of people facing each other with their arms outstretched. The teacher is at the womb end, I'm going to call it, of the journey. And everyone in the metaphorical birth canal is responsible for moving a human body down this metaphorical space to be reborn. And at the end of these 2 rows of people, someone had to catch you as you re-entered the world. And this process is the closure and flourish to the programme. And it's called rebirthing. And I remember thinking, okay, Annie, just go with this. Don't resist. Just close your eyes and let it happen. And I was actually the last out of the group to do it. So down I went, this birth canal. And it certainly wasn't an unpleasant feeling. And when I opened my eyes again, I realised a lovely Portuguese chap called Miguel had taken delivery of me. He didn't speak a lot of English, but told me that I had nothing to fear because my angel was right there with me. And I looked around and we were the only people left in the pool. And he said he'd been holding me for a few minutes. Now to me, it felt like seconds. And it turned out that Miguel was an angel healer. Now, angel healing is a spiritual method of healing, of feeling better. And it involves working with one's archangels and guardian angels to tap into a spiritual form of healing. He told me he could see my angel and that he had enormous wings and that he was always with me, always protecting me. He invited me to ask anything I wished, and I asked that my angel show himself to me without Miguel being there. That my enormously winged angel make himself known to me of his own accord. And I completely forgot about it. And a few weeks later, I was in Munich at a health retreat, and I'd booked a very specific treatment with a delightful therapist. The treatment began, and about halfway through, the therapist started treating me in a different way that I knew wasn't the protocol of the treatment. She stopped and said she was being guided to treat me in a different way, and did I mind? I said I didn't. And at the end of the treatment, I asked her what happened. She paused, and she said she would have gone against her integrity if she had ignored this guidance. And I asked her if she could say more, and she said it was a male angel energy, so powerful that she simply couldn't ignore it. Now, what really matters here is that when you give yourself a chance, radically or otherwise, to get rid of the rubbish that weighs you down, and you pare yourself back to a more vulnerable openness, you create space for connection and consciousness that you may previously not have thought possible. Tomorrow considers how those well-being gaps are being shortened. Please follow, share, and